Hey guys, this is part 1 of me exposing this famous TikToker who scams her fans. So one day I joined this Rich Adopt Me server, and a lot of people were spamming into the chat for some reason. So of course I opened the chat, and I've seen people saying, OMG, it's you, I can't believe I'm such a big fan. So I was very convinced into thinking this was a famous YouTuber or a TikToker. And I was right, it was a TikToker. So then I teleported into the main lobby, and you won't believe what I saw. The famous TikToker in chat was saying, trust trading, best pets, but you first. This is a bit odd because influencers really don't do trust trades, especially when the fan goes first. At this point, I wasn't convinced into thinking she was gonna scam. But I did look into the chat to see if she scammed anyone, just in case. And of course she did. So it's the next day and I went to a different server and saw the same person. She was trying to scam a person. So I went up and informed her that she's a scammer and that I'll expose her on everything. We won't believe what she gave me and what her response was. Life! Hey guys, this is part 2 of me exposing a famous TikToker who scams her fans. So from part 1, like I said, I went up to her and informed her that you were the person who scammed the girl for her mega dragon. And of course she denied it, even though I got it all on record. Of course she left the game. I went onto my TikTok and made a video about her. She actually saw it and got all her friends to report my video. And then she blocked me right after. So of course it got deleted by community guidelines. So I made a whole other different account and made a TikTok about her. And then the videos went viral.
This is a story time on why you should never go on Omegle. So my friend invited me to have a sleepover with her. And we had pretty much fun. We went trick-or-treating and stuff. We got all that candy. We were all sugared up. We decided to do an all-nighter. We did some really weird things. We were like going outside like at 1 a.m. in the midnight and doing cartwheels on our yard. And like it was really fun. So we got a bit tired, so we went inside and we decided to go make ourselves some coffee. So after that, we went on TikTok. Our For You page was filled with people going on Omegle. And we saw like famous people getting on and like it was cool. So we're like, let's try to meet one of these famous people. So we grabbed my friend's laptop and this is part 2 on why you should never go on Omegle. So after we came inside, we went on Omegle. Everything was going nice. We met a few friends until this one person came up. So it was like dark. And then this guy came up in a blink and then he literally shot himself. Like pointed the gun to his head. We were like screaming. It was insane. We just witnessed someone dying. We witnessed someone committing suicide. We closed our computers and we never went on again. Please be safe and never go on there because...
Storytime. My boyfriend tried to kill me so he could have my life insurance money. So I decided to go on Tinder to look for some potential matches. And lo and behold, a guy named Jared was there. He was adorable, he was charming, and we had multiple cell phone calls before deciding to meet. We met at Red Lobster and it was like fireworks. He was so romantic and looked like a 6-foot-something cowboy. He took me to a wildlife bird refuge after dinner and I instantly fell for him. We dated for months and everything was mostly good. However, he was just very pressuring for things. And I didn't want to take things too fast. I was 21 and he was 31. Eventually, this just gave me some bad vibes, so I decided to cut off the relationship. But a few months later, he called me saying that he couldn't forget me. He had been married before and his wife had passed away, so I felt very sympathetic towards him. He had a really nice job, making over $150K a year, and he said that all he wanted to do was take care of me and my child. So I moved in and things were good again. I would wake up in the morning, he would make me coffee, and I would help him with his kids. But I noticed that my weight was starting to go down. And that's when I realized he was putting something in my coffee. Follow me on Insta and stay tuned for part 2. Part 2 to my boyfriend trying to kill me to get my life insurance money. I was not feeling very well and my parents were extremely worried about me, especially once they found out I only weighed 88 pounds. I knew I had to have been really, really ill, so my parents drove down 5 hours to rescue me, and I was immediately hospitalized. That's when I was able to put together the full story on what was going on. He started putting all the money that he was making into my bank account, but he didn't let me have access to it. He would take out loans in my name, making it look like I was making money. And my life insurance policy added to $500,000. During this time in the hospital, I was going through severe withdrawals from whatever he was putting into my coffee. But the second I stopped drinking it, I started to gain weight back. I was thinking that maybe he had done this to his previous wife. However, when I looked her up, I found out that she was still alive. They were just divorced. Later, I was able to find out that they even moved back in with each other. Make sure you don't ever get too blinded by love to realize that you're being taken advantage of. Follow me on Instagram, and if you have a story, DM me.
We were talking about how I was getting followed at night. So it was just a regular day, and I decided to go outside with my friends. and I just kind of went outside just to like kind of just take a walk and all that stuff. So it ended up becoming nighttime. So I walked my friend over to her house, which honestly isn't that far. We didn't go that far. So once I walked her to her house, I had to walk back to my house. If I'm alone at night, like I don't really mind. I'm not really scared of that. So again, once my friend went inside, I had to go walk to my house. It was maybe like a 5-minute walk or less, so I wasn't worried. I was just chilling and, walking, doing my thing, until I see this car start slowing down, kind of pulling up to me. I keep walking, but I was just cautious that, like, he's following me. And then he cracks his window open a tiny bit, and I just took off, started running to my house. I was so scared. Luckily, my house was nearby, so I was able to get to my house quickly. And yeah, please stay safe when it comes to nighttime, especially when you're alone. DMs are open, so send in your story. Bye! Story time on how I stole $1 from someone at school. It was elementary school, and the kid in the grade below me had this dollar. We were on the bus going home, and he said whoever gets this dollar first gets to keep it, and he was waving the dollar up in the air. Before he finished his sentence, I snatched the dollar out of his hand. And I guess I was a baddie because I went home with that dollar. He really wanted it back, but I didn't give it back. Also, I was the first bus stop, and apparently some of my friends told me that he was crying on the bus that next day. But the next day, I got called to the principal's office. It was my first time, actually getting in trouble to go to the principal's office, so it was a little scary. But it went really well. Basically, the principal asked if I still had the dollar, and I did. So she asked if I could bring it to school tomorrow, and I did. And long story short, I gave it back to the kid. Also, that kid had a crush on me, so if you see this, I'm sorry. Also, you guys can submit your stories. My DMs are open. Also, thank you guys so much for all the love on my last posts. Bye! Story time on how I could have got kidnapped. This story time was sent by Anonymous. So this happened when I was really young. I was on a vacation, and we went to this restaurant. There is outdoor and indoor seating. So we went inside this little place because that's where we could look at desserts. And then we went out and went to go to sit at the outdoor seating. I was following my sister. My sister had a white shirt on, and I guess I looked away for 1 second, and I followed this person with a white shirt. So I followed them and then realized that that's not my sister. So next I saw these 2 tall guys, probably in their 20s, one with the red shirt, one with the green shirt. I tell them, I'm lost. And then they bring me to the front area desk thing. And then they make an announcement on the speaker thingy. But I wasn't kidnapped. But I was so young where I didn't know that strangers could do bad things. So yeah. Send in your stories, my DMs are open. Bye! Story time on how I could have got kidnapped. This story time was sent by Anonymous. So this happened when I was really young. I was on a vacation, and we went to this restaurant. There is outdoor and indoor seating. So we went inside this little place because that's where we could look at desserts. And then we went out and went to go to sit at the outdoor seating. I was following my sister. My sister had a white shirt on, and I guess I looked away for 1 second, and I followed this person with a white shirt. So I followed them and then realized that that's not my sister. So next I saw these 2 tall guys, probably in their 20s, one with the red shirt, one with the green shirt. I tell them, I'm lost. And then they bring me to the front area desk thing. And then they make an announcement on the speaker thingy. But I wasn't kidnapped. But I was so young where I didn't know that strangers could do bad things. So yeah. Send in your stories, my DMs are open. Bye! Story time on how I punched my crush in the face. This story time is sent by Anonymous. It is not my story. So I was in elementary school, and a bunch of kids for some reason had a girlfriend. And I really liked this guy. So the next day, I told him, and then I started getting bullied because he told all of his friends, which his friends told everyone else. Then they told my teacher, which told my principal. And then my principal told my mom. I wasn't suspended, but I had to stay away from him the next day. So my teacher moved me in the back of the class and my crush in the front. At recess, I asked my crush, why did you snitch? And he just said, because I wanted to. So I get really mad, so I punch him. And then after that, I was suspended. The worst part about it is that my report card now says I punched a kid in elementary school. If you guys want to send in your stories, my DMs are open. Also, just so you know, I cannot reply back. I'm sorry. And thank you guys so much for all the likes on all of my last posts. Bye!
This is a story on how I lost my best friend. Me and my ex-best friends were friends for 2 years. It was the first day of 5th grade and we didn't get the same class. We were supposed to hang out in lunchtime. So when it was lunchtime, she said she was going to eat with her new friend, and she didn't even ask if I could eat with them. I was pretty sad and lonely since I always ate lunch with her. A few weeks passed, and she hadn't talked to me and just basically ignored me. I would just sit down on the benches of my school by myself. I noticed that she was wearing a matching BFF bracelet with her friend. At that point, I knew she wasn't my best friend anymore. But a few more days passed and I made new friends. On a school morning, she came up to me and apologized for not hanging out with me. I kind of wanted revenge on her, so I just ignored her and walked away. It felt good showing her what she did to me. I don't encourage you to do the same, I just don't think. After that day, we never talked since. Oh, and I have a new best friend. And that's the end of the story.